So the moment you're forced into inactivity, it feels like you're curbed, restricted, imprisoned, or worse, it may feel death-like. Well, there is a way beyond this. Activity is always a limited process within a defined amount of time and space. Right now, the defined amount of space is probably your home and it's feeling like a big restriction. But even if it was a planet or a solar system or a galaxy, as your capabilities to move extended itself, even a galaxy would feel like a restriction. This is the nature of activity. So, how much space is big? How much space is small? What is a restriction? What is not a restriction? All based on one's competence of movement and dynamism. Dynamism or the inertia which comes with restriction is feeling like a restriction and feeling like a suffocating process only because it has become stagnation. Stagnation will naturally lead to death in a way. You may not die immediately, but in many ways you will die once you stagnate. So, there is a way to move inactivity into stillness and not stagnation. Stillness is super dynamic, but there is no activity. Stillness is the nature of the source. Activity is the nature of the surface. So stillness is of another dimension of dynamism. Now, this dimension of dynamism needs an intensity of life which one can never achieve through activity. Because if you reach a certain level of intensity in your activity, it will exhaust you. That is the nature of activity. However good the activity is, however pleasant it is, however pleasurable it is, every activity with a certain intensity will naturally exhaust you. It will force you to go into the slumber of stillness. But to become still consciously means you're building a bridge between the physical and the non-physical dimensions of your existence. What is the profoundness or how profound is one's experience of life? And how precise and purposeful is the nature of one's activity? Simply depends upon whether you have touched the core of your stillness or are you just on the surface of physical oscillations. Now you're home, you can bring this dimension into your life. That is a very intense way of existence, but still. Right now the issue with most people is, if you ask them to be intense, they will become tense. So their idea of relaxation is usually to be lax. This is the essence of yoga. That is, you're intense and relaxed at the same time. The basis of enhancing one's life process is only in enhancing one's perception. The laws that govern physical reality doesn't govern your mental space. The laws that govern your mental space does not govern the core of the life that you are. unknowingly you have divided the world. First division happens, me versus the cosmos. Then it feels very lonely, so me and my family versus the cosmos. Then that also feels terrible, as you know right now in the lockdown. Me, my friends and rest of the universe. That also doesn't feel good, then you say me and my community and rest of the universe. Me and my nation and rest of the universe. Like this we may expand boundaries, but the problem is just this. The moment you identify with the limited aspect of physical dynamism, you naturally become a prejudiced existence. If you build a bridge with the still core of who you are, you become an unprejudiced existence. And this is very important if you want to perceive life just the way it is. Now, this light is falling upon me, reflecting, going through your lenses, inverted image in the retina. Don't you know the whole story? So where do you see me? Where am I right now? Within you. Where do you hear me? Within you. Where have you seen the whole world? Within you, isn't it? Have you ever experienced anything outside of you? Have you? Have you? Right now, you just touch your friend and see, you don't feel his hand, you will only feel the way your sensations are. You cannot experience his hand, please know this. You can only know the way your sensations are. You have never experienced anything beyond this. Everything that's happened to you, your joy and misery has happened within you, light and darkness has happened within you, just everything happens within you. But do you have a means to look inward? No, right now. So that will not happen unless you strive. It happened one day, someone came looking for Isha Yoga Center in South India, to a nearby village. They came and asked a local boy, how far is Isha Yoga Center? The boy said, it's 24,996 miles. What, that far? He said, yes, the way you're going. If you turn around, it's 4 miles. So right now, everything that you have is outward bound, but everything that's happening is happening within. So it gives you a completely false perception of what it is. So turning within will take a little bit of striving. If you're willing to give 28 hours of focused time, we can turn your heart.